Okay, so good morning everybody and once again welcome back in today's class. We're on the day number 2 of ITSM batch. So yesterday we discussed about that a little bit about that what is value and what is service and what is co-creation of value, right? And then we see that what is ITIL as well. In today we are going to be discuss a little bit more about the same here on that particular part. Okay, this one. So we saw that ITL 4 says, or it is a framework. Yesterday, I guess, Anuj, you asked that can we go a deep dive? So ITL 4 is a way, is a set of practices. It is a set of framework which tell that how you can implement, how you can progress, how you can support, how you can design your services. In a simple manner, if I say, okay, Anuj, I want to start a business. So you can start it. How to start? You need investment of 1 million or 2 million approximately. You need a good place. But moreover, it's important to understand that what type of business you want to do. Who's your audience? Right? Then we can see that how much investment it need, what place it can be started. Do we need some approvals from government, from quality, maybe from food, maybe from safety? All these terms come in the picture. Then we can see that how much investment we can do in the initial and how we can add the investment on the top of that. How we can evaluate or measure our performances on the number of users or number of items sold out. All these things depend. Now, why I can say Anuj is best in that because he came from that particular background. Maybe Ishwar, maybe Amber, or maybe sorry, Khalda, maybe Anthony, maybe Jogendra, not much aware about that part. This is what a framework. Anuj cannot give 100% to me that how they implement it because they also learn from their business from the starting 20-30 years back and now they have a business like this. They done a hard work, they done a research, they done a progress, they measure their stuff and they reach at a place. This is what the ITL says here. ITL says that if you want to provide any service to your customer, there is a way to do that part. It is not like that you go in the market and say, hey, I'm selling this, I'm selling this, I'm selling this, please take it from me. No, you have to make a plan that how you're selling it. Before you sell out, you have to build a capability in your company as well. This thing we are going to be discussed under the term called the CSDM. Like, what do you mean by the word capability, business capability? When I say go and sell in the market, what that particular term called? It's called the business service. Okay. So now ITL says I'm a framework which provides a holistic approach starting from demand to value. That how a demand is there and how I can provide a value for that. Now to support this ITL, to build this ITL 4, two things are important. It has a 4-dimension model and it has a service value system. 4-dimension model means without these 4 pillars, a business cannot be run. Without this 4 pillar, a service cannot be run. Like if I say me and Anuj are doing the partnership in the business. What are the main 4 pillars for us? Honesty. If anybody ditch, anybody do the backbiting, anybody do some kind of illegal or unethical activities, business will not grow. Second, equal loss, equal profit. That is another pillar, right? Third, we have to be believe on our people as well. And fourth, we have to be think from the business perspective, not from the individual perspective. The same thing ITL says here, 4-dimension model. Here dimension doesn't mean that I'm going to measure it or length. No. Four dimension means the four pillars that on which industry work. The first pillar say organization and the people. This thing. Earlier we just have a people. Now we have an organization as well. Why? Because people are thinking that we need to be moved. But if organization don't have a right vision and the mission, then it is tough to be achieve that. So first and important point is that.
Atul, are you sharing something on the screen?
Yes, I'm sharing the screen. Everybody is able to see, or only you are facing some issue?
I think
I can see.
Okay. I'll rejoin.
Okay, rejoin. Otherwise, I'll stop sharing and sharing it again. Okay. So the first is organization and the people. Think from the organization perspective. Think from the people perspective that how we can make it is a good organization. What is the mission and the vision? I'm sure that we all are having good experience. Whenever we join a new company or new organization, we always get one thing. Day one is induction, where the slides came. Company vision, company mission, core values and all the things will be there. Why it has been shown to you? So that now you are part of that company and you have to be think from that lines where company is thinking. Let's say X company say, I want to be achieve automation by 2030. This is what is their mission. And how it can be achievable, because I need to be support on that. Otherwise they cannot be achieved. So this is the first point. Then information and the technology. Use the industry, use the IT. Old days are gone now. That everything should be on the paper or should be on the with a pen and pencil. No. Use the technology. Make it automated a little bit. Make it transparent. Earlier what happened that if you see in the schools, in the offices, you have to be go and mark your attendance on the register on the main gate. Then you put the end time as well. Anybody can do the cheating. Who is worrying about that? But now the company think no, transparency should be there. So they make it as a swipe based system. Either you swipe, either I swipe, either director swipe, either MD swipe. Anybody swipe, the right time will get captured here. Then partners and suppliers. This is what the co-creation of the value come. Work with and work as you are a partner and a supplier. So that you both can create a value for each other. Earlier, what do we think? He's my supplier. Leave it. But now the supplier also is a one area which can help you to get the business value or the increase the value or get the value. So support each other. And last, value stream and the processes. Okay, value stream and the processes. Value stream is a very big and heavy word here. Okay, and this has been introduced by ITL 4. It was not in the ITL 3 earlier. Value stream says, if I go in the layman language, value stream says that the exact stakeholder for whom you are working. It can be a department. It can be a business unit. Right? Like if I say I was implementing a change. I was implementing change management for one of my customers. Okay, but in that customer domain, I have a different parties, different teams as well. One team is only work for the local changes. One team work only for the international changes. One team work on the network changes. One team work on the infra changes. So those are the value streams for me, for whom I am driving the value. You can say, is it a department? Yes, it is a department. I can say it's look like a department. But if I go in the ITL world, ITL domain, then they are called as a value streams and processes how to do that particular part. Okay, so this is what the dimension 4-dimension model says here. Now, which is important for us to be understand is SVS. Let me come here and show you. Okay. Yes, this one. Now, SVS says that how all components and activities of an organization work together. Very simple and very easy to understand. How this training will be successful. It's not depend only on me. It depends on all of us. That how closely we are binding with each other. If Anuj asks any question, will it be answered by Ishwar? Will it be answered by Jogendra, Khalada or Anthony? If I put any question, will it be answered by you guys? Means how we all are connected with each other and want to achieve a value called and want to achieve something that is called the value here. This is what the importance here. How components and the activities. I'll give you one more example, then I'll go to the particular screen image. Okay. Let's say if in our class, in our daily class, we start doing gossips. 5-10 minutes we have a teaching and then have a gossips. How are you, Ishwar? How's your wife? How's your family? How's Anuj? How's the things going on? Hi Anthony, how's the things going on? What have you done in the office? Then what will happen? We will not able to achieve the value. Maybe today I started this gossip part. Tomorrow if Anuj do or Jogendra do or Khalda do or Anthony do, then it becomes practice. Then you cannot blame me. Atul, you started. Because we all are connected with each other. Our intention is that how all components and activities of the organization work together to facilitate the creation of the value. We need to be work by hand in hand, joining the hands. Only then we can achieve the value. If I always say this thing in my training batches. If anybody has any question after the class, don't message me separately on the WhatsApp. No. Message in the WhatsApp group. So that if I don't have an answer, then the rest people can see the question and start troubleshooting and give the answer on that particular part. So that we can achieve the value. It is not required that I know each and everything. Maybe sometime Ishwar is good in that domain, or maybe Anthony is good in that domain, maybe Jogendra is good in that domain, but I'm not. Right? So this is what the SVS says. Now in the ITL terms, what does SVS do? This one. This whole system is called the SVS service value system. How we can drive the value. And what is the holistic approach? From demand to value. Everybody want to do this thing. I want to do this thing. You want to do the same thing. Atul, value. We should be able to go and say in the market, yes, I have a knowledge of this particular thing. But to achieve a value, they say, right? If you want to achieve a big goals, you have to start following some rules. This is what they says. If we want to achieve a value, then number one, there must be a guiding principles. What is guiding principles here? Anuj and me and you all together doing a business. What is the first guiding principle? Honesty is the guiding principle, guys. Be honest. If you are sleeping in the session, Be honest, Atul. Sorry, I was sleeping. I did not hear you properly. Can you repeat it again? So for every business, for every service which we are providing to our customer, there must be some guiding principles. Which I say, like before starting of this training or my ServiceNow admin training, I always say, or even though for this training as well, guys, before you coming for the ITSM, make sure your admin fundamental must be clear. Like what is business rule, what is SLA, what is notification, what is form layout, field. These things must be clear for you. So that when I use these words, you must know this thing. That is a guiding principle. Then governance. How to regulate, how to move forward, how to control the things. Like in our WhatsApp group, it is not allowed to send any good morning, good evening, jokes, forward his messages, images, videos. No. If anybody will send, maybe one warning, two warning, and third warning, it will be out. That's fine. If there's a loss for me, that's a loss for me. But person will be out from the group. This is what the governance. No personal bullying. No personal attacks. Nothing on the gender or color or religion. No discussions on that particular point. This is what the governance says. Means if I'm providing a service to my customer, there must be a governance that how to regulate the changes. Then continuous improvement. This is what. Go ahead, please.
Atul, can you give one example of governance, like in real time?
Okay. So let me come back to you then. In your business, definitely you have some instructions to your employees, right?
Right.
Be on time. If you want to take a leave, you have to be inform the boss or your manager approximately one day before. In case of emergency, you can give a call or the message immediately.
Correct.
This is what the governance is.
Hmm.
If one of your employee did not obey this, maybe he's taking off without any updates or the information. He's taking a lot of vacations. He making the environment bad by putting rumors and other things. Then what you will do? You will kick out, right?
Yes.
This is what the governance is.
Okay.
Maximum services, maximum project fails because there's a no governance or poor governance on that part. That fail.
Governance
Implementation
is
done. Sorry.
governance is basically the rules of that
Rules and
process.
regulations to track. Yes. That how this service can be implemented, how this service can be run.
Okay.
If you jump the traffic light, what will happen?
Collision.
Collision. You have to pay challan as well.
Yes.
This is what governance,
Hmm.
right? And they have a guiding principle. Follow the traffic rule. Don't overtake from the left side. Don't go over speed. Always wear the helmet. This is the guiding principles. If you're not obeying that guiding principle, then they have a governance on the place. If you caught, maybe your license get cancelled. You have to pay the penalty. It can be accident. Even though if you notice this thing that earlier insurance company was giving a claim if there's a accident happen in the car, but now they are putting a clause in their policies. If in the car you don't wear the car's that seat belt, you're not eligible for the claim.
Correct.
Right? What was that? That was guiding principle, and to regulate that, they have a governance on the place now.
Hmm.
Right?
Clear.
This
Clear.
is what the governance is. Now the continual improvement. We are the human being. We always learn and learn and learn and learn. This is what the continual improvement. By doing the first batch, it doesn't mean that I done everything good. No. Maybe I done something wrong, which I improved in the batch too. If I give you the example of my admin batch, the first batch I took, it was only for the 14 days. It was a crash course. The second batch I took, it was for the 60 days. You will not believe, even Sunday was off. Monday to Saturday I have a class 60 days, but that give me a very big learning. 60 days people get bored. It become hectic for them. So I take this as a learning. No, 60 days is more than enough. Max 35 to 40 days I have to put the syllabus. I have to put a bar that how much I want to be share or what I can share. This is what the continual improvements. Lean, Six Sigma, and this thing. A lot of stuff are there which help you in the improvement part. Now practice. It don't have a process. It has a practice. What practice says here? In the simple and the layman language, practice means if you have a capability to do that work, it is your practice. I'm not sure that there's a movie of Akshay Kumar where he learned that karate kind of thing. And his opponent says this dialogue. I'm not bothered. I'm not worried that he know the thousand of steps, but I'm worried that he done one step 1,000 times. That becomes his practice. This is what we say. Now, if you notice, let's come to the IT industry. If you notice in the IT companies, there are the practices has been set up. ServiceNow practice, Java practice, Oracle practice, .NET practice, pre-sales practice, business analyst practice. Like I'm working as a business analyst practice. I'm working in professional services. It's a business analyst, right? So it is not a process. Practice says that when you have a pool of the people who are perfect in that particular day, particular domain, not day, that becomes the practice. Now, if I say, if let's say Khalida and me, okay. If I say, okay, Khalida, you make the food at home. Yes, I made it, right? How much time you take to cut 2 onions? It will just 30-40 seconds. How much time I take to cut 2 onions? Minimum 5 minutes. Why? Because I don't have a practice and she has a practice. It's not the process. No. How we do is a process. But do we have to do that capacity? That is become a practice. But in the reverse order. Khalda, can you come on the video and give a lecture to us? No, Atul, I'm afraid. But you can ask me, Atul, can you come on the video and give us a lecture? Definitely, because I'm a practice. This is my day-to-day work. Speaking with the people is my day-to-day work. The only thing is that I have to just switch on the camera. This is what the practice. This practice word we can club or we can join with the term called the business capability in the CSG model. Okay, this is what the practice is. And the last it says SVC, service value chain. What this mean? Service value chain says that how a service will be delivered. See, these are the external parts. These 4 are the external part. But what actually internally do? How to build, how to develop, how to engage, and how to support or the migrate that particular part. That thing come under SVC, service value chain. This. The intention is same from demand to value. But what they say start engaging the right people at the right time on the right position. The first part. Example, I want to buy a house. Okay. I want to buy a house. I see a good flat. I arrange the fundings and everything. And at the last stage, I involve my wife for decision. That is too late. Because it's not only me. It's we both of us need to be stay in the flat. So engaging the right people at the right time is important in that particular part. So it is says, see, if you notice these work hand in hand like this. You plan, you improve, engage. Plan, improve, engage. Plan, improve, engage. Now, when you're designing it, plan the design, engage the people, improve the design. Plan the design, engage the people, improve the design. So in the ITL 4, they introduce the agile, also one of the concept in their method, in their format. ITL 4 introduced the business analyst or business analysis as one of the practice. It was not earlier any available in the part of the ITL, but now they introduce. Then if you build, same thing, plan, improve, engage, plan, improve, engage. If you deliver and support, plan, improve, engage, plan, improve, engage. And once the delivery has been done, it become product and services. Once it go out in the form of the either it's a product, either it's a service. When it go out, it become a value. This is what the SVC says. So SVC and SVS, these two. So if you replace this box under this, you will get a complete picture. Clear, everybody? Any doubt? Any question and doubt? Okay.
No, thought.
I come here. So this is what we discuss. Now ITL 4 give us a 34 practices. Set of organizational resources designed for performing work or accomplishment and objective. Example, if there is any problem in the Java application, I'll go to the people who are belonging from the Java practice. Earlier, this thing happened in the industry. Like when I joined Accenture in 2009, I was allocated to the insurance as a vertical. It means I will work only and only in the insurance domain, not any other domain. But I was a resource of Java. Then they changed the format. No, let's remove this industry and say Atul is a Java resource. Now, if there is a demand of Java resource in any of that industry, either financial, insurance, telecom, fleet, transportation, dairy products, anywhere, we can deploy Atul. This is what the practice says. Total 34 practices given by ServiceNow I'm saying, given by ITL under the three major sections: journal management, service management, and the technical management. Now let me come here. If that picture become larger, that will be good. चलेगा ठीक है इतना ही है. Okay, this one. So this is my SVC which we discuss. To support the SVC, we have a three type of practices. Number one is the journal. From here to here. Journal means you do any kind of a services to your customer. These things are required. Either you do business, you do function, you do event, you do any kind of a work. These things are required. Like you need an architecture management. First and important. Right? Then you need supply management. You need the financial management. You need the portfolio management. You need the measurement and the reporting management. You need the knowledge management. You need the security management. Take an example. An example. You're planning to organize a dinner for lunch or dinner for your friends. You have to do almost all these things. You want to open a new business. You have to do each and everything, or maybe some of the things you have to do. Small business, things can be club. Big business, things can be scattered and different teams can be handled that particular part. This is what, and that is the reason they added this as a journal management practice. In the right side, service management practice, specifically to the service management. This is our IT service management, I can say. Like release management. That how I can provide this service to my customer. I'm saying the word service. The word service will be coming very soon in the CSDM. Then you will understand that why I call this as a services, or I'm calling as a sorry. These I'm calling as a service, but these are the practices. Like Anthony says that Atul, I was working or I'm working in a transitioning domain, transformation in a transitioning domain. Okay, it means he belonged to that particular practice. He belonged to that particular practice. If any kind of a business came for the transformation, Anthony will be the first point of contact because he's expert in that. His only work is to do the transition smoothly with the minimal interruption. This is what this is. So in the service management practice, we have a release, problem monitoring, IT asset, incident management, change and change enablement, not the change management now. This has been changed in the ITL 4. Service design, service catalog, service desk. Earlier service desk was a function, now it became a practice. Service request management, validation. So out of these, we are going to be discussed mainly on the 5 or 6, like incident, change, release, problem, service request, and the knowledge management are the main of our practice part. Or sorry, for our training part, ITSM training part. And the last is called the technical. Means core technical parts like deployment management. How to do the deployments of these practices. How to introduce a business to the public. Shall we do a lot of branding, marketing kind of things, or shall we do a small marketing, branding, a lot of things? Infrastructure and the platform management. Who will manage my platform? Customer says I'm busy in giving the requirement in my own business. I need someone who can manage my platform. So this thing come. And finally, SDLC. These are the practices which are the part of this 34 set of practices given by ITIL to us. Any doubt, any question on this part? Who drop off? Yeah. Go ahead, please. Any doubt, any question? Anybody? No doubt, no question.
So, Atul, I have a question related. It may be some not too relevant to ITIL 4.
Go ahead.
Can I go ahead?
Go ahead. Ishwar.
Yeah. So the question is, when we talk about ITIL V3, it has a life cycle. There are 5 life cycle with ITIL V3.
Right.
Now ITIL 4 may have some such practices, right? 34 practices you are saying.
Right.
So there is no life cycle concept.
No life cycle.
Okay. Yeah, that was the question. Yeah. Okay.
Because ITIL V3 was, see again, we just see the term called the continual improvement. So they analyze and they found that these life cycles are a little confusing. Why not we club everything in a one place and say, okay, this is the thing you have to be do. Like if you see the life cycles, service design, service operation, transition, under service design, what we have, or service operation, what we have, incident, problem. These are the practice are here, incident, problem. So maybe they did some analysis, they did some research and they removed the upper cap, but internal things are still there. Right? In the transition, we have a change management. It is still here. We have the release management. It is still here. In the operation, we have the problem management. It is still here. We have incident management. It is still here. But they remove the major barriers or the major stuff on the top of that. No, let's remove everything like in a design or transition or the continual improvement kind of things. So that is the reason they redesign it and they bring it like this format. SVC, SVS, and the practices. Now let's come to the area. Understanding. I'm not saying that we are going very deep in this understanding, but we are going to be understand the service now. A very brief slide. 4 slides will be there just to give you a glimpse of the service now. Because the purpose of this training is not about the service now. The purpose is training for the ITSM understanding, implementation. Okay. Let me come to you guys. What is ServiceNow for you? Okay, leave it. How many of you guys use Excel or the Word file on the daily basis? Ishwar says, Atul, my day start with Excel and end with Excel only.
That's true.
What is the purpose of Excel? Why are you using Excel sheet?
Yeah, for my data management and the reporting point of view, it's a mandatory tool set for me.
Okay. Anthony, what do you think?
We do most of the project planning and all, basically from Excel and then move it to the
PP.
Project plan.
So
it is very easy to do it in Excel rather than doing it in the project plan.
Agree. But I'm still not able to get what is Excel for you. What you are telling me is that what you do in Excel. But my thought or
it's the bread and butter for me, if you ask.
That's fine. Bread and butter for me, that's fine. But what is Excel for you? If you need to be tell to your son or daughter, this is an Excel sheet. How you explain to him or her so that he or she can understand that what is the Excel sheet? Okay, let's go a little bit 10-20 years back. Mobile phones are very common nowadays. Everybody, kids also have a mobile phone, right? Before the mobile phone, we have the landlines. And I'm sure everybody who is in this call have experience of the landline. Either that round circle or that buttons, normal square buttons one is the landline we have. When we have a landline, very limited people have a landlines or the phones in their houses. How you remember the phone numbers? Under that landline, there is a diary we have kept. And whenever anybody call or we connect with anybody, we say, okay, give me your number, and my parents or my father, mother go and open that diary and write the number in that diary. Agree? What was that diary do? Diary is containing or saving all our memory, which we need to be remember in our mind. So that diary become a tool for me. Phone gets changed, but I'm still sure that if you go your home or if you go and ask your parents, the diary is still available in their cupboards. Very, very, very old, 1996, 97. Even in my house, I have 2 or 3 diaries. Still the same numbers are there. It means diary is nothing. It is just a tool to record the data. The same thing goes for the Excel. Excel is nothing. It is a tool to store your data. Teacher give a homework to the kids in the notebooks. What are the notebook means? They are the tool only to do the practice, to capture the data, to tell them that how to write, when to write, what to write. So if I come from the 90s, 2000 or 80s to the 2023, we can say Excel, MPPs are nothing but these are the tool. Maybe Anthony is using the MPP for the project management. I'm using the MPP for my day-to-day deadlines or my work, that in November I have to do this thing, in December I have to do this thing, in January I have to do this thing. Ishwar is maintaining Excel sheet for day-to-day work. But Satyam was a company who are maintaining his balance sheet in the Excel balance sheet in the Excels. So they're using for the financial management. So in short, ultimately, it is nothing just a tool for everybody. The purpose can be same, the purpose can be different. In the same manner, if I speak in a very layman language, ServiceNow is nothing just a tool. Okay. But if you go in the market, people say, no, it's not a tool. We call it as a platform. But before I reach to that level, to that definition, let's understand that ServiceNow is nothing but it is a tool. Tool for what? Where you can create the records, incident, change, problem, request, user, group. Where you can maintain the records. Anuj is not working my company, remove his record. Issue is new joining my company, add his record. Maintaining and tracking. How many users are using ITL license? How many users are using incident management? How many users are using change management? How many users are using problem management? How many people I have in this particular group? It's called the management. You can do this thing in Excel sheet. Yes. I work with the customers who are maintaining their incident change problem in the Excel sheet, and we migrated them to the ServiceNow. Why? Because Excel sheet is little cumbersome. Now this concept comes, shared drive or SharePoint concept, shared drive concept came. Where anybody, if you put any Excel sheet in the shared drive, anybody can shared drive, anybody can make an edit on that particular part. Earlier it was not there, right? Earlier you have to send the Excel sheet, then person will work and then send it back to you. All concept was there. But customer think, no, Excel sheet is tough to manage. Tracking is tough. Transparency is tough. Management is tough. We need some tool who can provide everything in a one click. So ServiceNow came in the picture. And why I'm not saying it's a tool, I'm saying it's a platform. Because you can create your application on the top of this platform. Android is what? It is a OS, I agree. But Android is a platform. You're using WhatsApp, I'm using WhatsApp. How this WhatsApp has been built? It built on the Android as a base. It should run on the Android. If you put petrol in a diesel car or diesel in a petrol car, what will happen? It will crash. It will not work as expected. Because the basic functionality, the basic platform is for that particular product is petrol or the diesel. Right. The first question is, let's say if Anuj buy a new car, what we have a question? Anuj, which car? I got this one. Oh, petrol, diesel. No, it's a petrol one. Now new word is come, electric or automatic or manual. So this is what this called. So why I'm saying ServiceNow is a platform, because by using the ServiceNow or by using the component of the ServiceNow, you can create your own application as well. And then you can build it. Now let's understand this definition. Any question till this?
No, Atul.
Good.
No, Atul.
Okay. So these are the slides little old. Okay, because nowadays there's a lot of content available on the internet about the ServiceNow. But I use this. So service number one, ServiceNow is a company as well. And ServiceNow has its own product as well. It's a cloud-based company. Why cloud-based? Means you don't need to be install anything on your laptop or the desktop. You need to just click on one link and it's working. What is Gmail? Gmail is a cloud-based. You open the Gmail in your phone or you open the Gmail in your laptop or the desktop. Go to browser, put gmail.com. It open. There is a cloud-based. Do we know that where this data gets stored? Pata nahi. I have no idea. Maybe near to my location only. Maybe my data is getting stored somewhere in Anuj country. Maybe in Ishwar countries. Maybe in UK country. Who is making changes, guys? Don't make changes. That's not look good. Okay. Fine. So this is what is the cloud-based means. Now, two things are there. One is called software as a service. Using the Gmail, can you make a changes in the Gmail? I want two compose button. I want one send button on the top, one send button on the bottom. Can you make it? Anybody? Can you make the changes? अरे क्या हो गई? That's good. Tell me, can you make a change in the Gmail?
No.
Yes or no?
Like
No.
no.
You can change
Unless
the theme maximum,
max.
right? But you cannot make a change in the Gmail completely. The two new buttons or two add button or like this will be there. This is what is called software as a service. You downloaded Gmail and installed and using as it is, which is given by Gmail to us. That is called software as a service. Now, what is platform as a service? When you can use this Gmail to integrate or to build something on the top of the Gmail or with the support of Gmail, then it becomes platform as a service. Like I took example of the Android. You can use Android as it is, or you can use Android to build your own applications as well. But ServiceNow is a APaaS, application platform as a service. They're not saying that I'm selling it as a software. No, they're not longer saying it is a software. No, they're saying it is an application platform. You use as it is you want to use, or you can build your own application on the top of that. So it is called the platform as a service. APaaS is a new word in ServiceNow world here. Application platform as a service. You will surprised to know that I was reading one post on the LinkedIn. That company is putting an ad, architect as a service. They have few qualified certified master architect in the ServiceNow domain, and they're putting it on the LinkedIn. If you need architect for 2 weeks, 3 weeks, 5 weeks, 1 month, you can hire from us. They will help you in your business and they will move out. Wow, surprising. Architect as a service. I work with one of the customer. They are doing hardware as a service. If you need any hardware, let us know. Oops. They're doing hardware as a service. Training as a service we are doing, right? I'm doing a training as a service. If you want training, you can connect with me. I can help you in the training that part. So this is what the concept come here. Now, this slide is very old. Very old if I truly speak, more than 2 years old or 3 years old, I can say. But fundamentals still same. ServiceNow provide it is a single system of actions. Means you can do a lot of things in a one place. And it has the capability of the workflow and the flow. You can do automation with the flow or the workflow capability, which can be across the departments, customer, IT, employee services, etc. In the upcoming slides, I have some later slides as well, which give you a little more clear picture. OK, now I'll drop this one. I'll pick up this in the next slide. This. Yesterday I read.
Atul, what is single code base?
I'm coming. Just leave this as of now because these things I'm coming in the upcoming slide with the complete picture.
Okay.
OK. Yesterday I was reading another post of the ServiceNow. 20 years back, Mr. Fred Ludy, who is the founder of ServiceNow, he started writing his first code that he called the workflow with the vision and the mission that he want to develop a tool, he want to develop a platform, he want to develop a software which should work the way I need, not the way system behave or that software behave. Okay, let me brief these words in this manner. ServiceNow give you and one more thing, I put a disclaimer here. It is not a selling concept. It is just for the educational purpose. I'm telling you these definitions. Okay, ServiceNow give you the power to make work and work better. That's fine. Employee work the way they want, not how software dictates they have to be. Gmail, you need to be used the way that Gmail has been defined. But ServiceNow says what you want, you can build it. What your client want, you can build it. And the customer can get what they need and when they need. And this statement they called as that's what we call the smarter way to the workflow. And it's a trademark. Guys, these lines I pick up from the ServiceNow website only. OK, so when you go a deep dive in ServiceNow, you will understand these words or these lines very beautifully. You can do a number of things in the ServiceNow. What you want to do, what you want to be achieve, you can achieve in ServiceNow. Automation, workflow, flow, form, buttons, email, SLA, what you need, everything can be done here. The way you want, the way customer want, the way business want. You can design it. Clear? Now, we'll pick up this as well. Every product has a history. Like iPhone has a long history. Releases iPhone 13, 14, 14 Pro. Even I don't remember that how many versions of iPhone came. Like 14, 14 Pro, 14 Plus, 14 Pro, 14 Pro Max. Not sure. In the same manner, ServiceNow also has a version history. If you see from the 2007, they start releasing it. Earlier till 2011, it was on the name of the seasons. Summer, fall, winter, spring. These. But then they say, no, it is tough to be remembered. Then they pick up with the alphabetically. And if you notice by seeing this, just have a quick look and see what you are finding it here.
Alphabetically, city's name.
What else?
States.
What else?
Releases are very sequential in the sense they are very particular about when to release. For example, 2 release per year or something like that.
Correct. That was another finding, and that is important. And this is what makes ServiceNow as a consistent. If you notice, Aspen, Berlin, Calgary, Dublin, Eureka. Almost every year they have 2 releases. Then Fuji, Geneva, they have two. But in 2016, only 1 release was there. And after that, they make a habit. January, July or September, March, September, January, September, March, September. If you are a ServiceNow learner or ServiceNow lover, you will wait for the next release. Now ServiceNow released the Vancouver in September. The next is coming Washington in Q1. Approximately in March 2024, they will release the Washington release. By seeing up to Z, you can see that what vision they are driving now. Again, it's not a sales pitch, nothing. It's just experience and the educational purpose. I'm sharing this information. That by 2020-2025, they have a complete vision that we have to release these products or these versions. Now people are curious to know what happened after Z. How ServiceNow is going to pick up the name. Is it planet name? Is it celebrity name? Is it double alphabets like A, B, B, C, C, D, D, like of this? It is a cities. It is a customer's name. It is a country name. It is alphabetically what type of name they'll be suggesting it. And nobody aware. But discussions are there. Someone says no, it will start with the planets. Someone says no, it will start with the book's name. But planet is again 9 planets mainly. It's done. Books can be a good one, a good example. Sports persons can be a good example. Celebrities can be good examples. So this is the way that ServiceNow is releasing the products. I started working somewhere in this part, Eureka or Dublin. I started in 2015, but my client was using Eureka. So I'm from this particular release, and now I'm on this release. So I see a progress in the ServiceNow. When I started working ServiceNow, people say it is just a ticketing tool. And if you know that how to raise a ticket in ServiceNow, you are master of everything. You will be like a gem in the team. Oh, you know that how ServiceNow works. That's good. But now ServiceNow is so vast. In 2014, it was just a bucket, small 20-liter bucket. But now in 2023, it is like a big ocean. If you learn small, it doesn't mean that you learn everything in the ServiceNow. You just learn a small part. Okay, so you can think that how far they came now. From 1 module, 2 modules, they reach to the 100 of modules now, 100 of products now. And I know the people who work from 2012 as well. I know the people. I have a podcast with a guy who started his journey from 2012 from Aspen. Someone I know that who working still since in these ages, more than 10, 12 years, 13 years in this domain. Many of you, almost none of you know that how previous ServiceNow looked like when I started using this one, Eureka, Fuji. Nobody know. We see the fancy screens, but there was a days when it looked like very very old. And if I show you, if you can go, let me show you that. This was a ServiceNow when I started using. Can you imagine? Oh, Atul, come on. If I show you today's ServiceNow, you will say, wow, that's look better. I use this. I use this.
What kind of a record they are managing since then until now? Kind of a very similar.
Theme is similar, definitely. Theme they did not change.
Mm.
But the point is that they make an enhancement from the user perspective. Now, if I show you like this, because again, improvements are must. Now, I was seeing one reel on the Instagram. How iPhone 15 has been launched. What they changed? I'm not sure that they changed a lot of things in the background. They just put that titanium screen something on the background or something like that. They think to build the screen by their own, but they get failed. And they just polish it and they put it for the sale. So this is what is the new service now. I have still few of my connections who are still using this old UI because they're comfortable with this. So the only nice is that every product has a history. And this is a way that they are moving from one to another to another to another to another. Now we are working on in the Vancouver ServiceNow release generative AI, where you can get a written code from the ServiceNow itself, not need to be write the code completely code by yourself. They're improving it. Maybe in the Washington they bring something new. In Zenando they will bring something new. In Yokohama they will bring new. Zurich they will bring new. So teams are working on the next releases as well. This is what about ServiceNow. Any doubt, any question?
Yeah, I have a point to raise since the ServiceNow is one of the great tool. It's bringing all the features and facilities to the companies who can leverage day-to-day life. But having said that, it release in a year twice, right?
Yes.
Which as an organization which has a big infrastructure, right? To adopt those things and settle down with the new release, the timing it's complete, new release again arise. It's been difficult, to be have such kind of agility
100%,
and start to
100% agree on that, Parishwar. Let me
yeah,
give you my thoughts on that particular part. Okay.
yeah,
Industries like banks, a big bank who has a million of transactions in a single day, who running a very complex change problem in processes and IT processes. Okay. For them, it is not that much easy to upgrade their systems very quickly. Okay. So what happened that I work with a few of the customers who miss one release and go to the next one. Let's say my customer was on the Utah. Okay. Vancouver is there and they know that by the time we upgrade to the Vancouver, Washington will come. So they will skip the Vancouver and they will directly go to the Washington. This is what the customer says because their system is so complex. If they're also in the journey of the implementation of the transformation, not the mature one, then they avoid back-to-back releases, back-to-back upgrades. Okay, that is the one part. Second thing, what I heard and my experience says, ServiceNow also says that you need to be upgrade when we are upgrading so that you can get the new features, new security policies, new processes on that particular place. So now it's totally depend on the customer that what he want to be achieved. If I says, if you daily study one chapter, you become a master of this book. Or you study after 6 months, then also become a master of this one. Now it's depend on you that what is the important factor for you? And I see companies or the customer upgrade so that they can stay top in the market. Hey, we are on the Vancouver release. Vancouver means, oh my God, you are using the latest product of ServiceNow. Yes. So it's always depend on the customer, their need, their purpose, how mature they are in the ServiceNow domain, how long they're using ServiceNow domain. And ServiceNow provide N-2 support. So now we have a Vancouver, they provide the support up to Tokyo. So they can support you Vancouver, Utah, and on the Tokyo release. But if you are still on the San Diego, they will not support you 100%. They will say that in case you are facing some security challenges, we are not much responsible because we are on the latest release where we fix a lot of new things on the security perspective. So the way it moved like this. I work with a customer who were, I guess, on the somewhere on the Kingston release and ServiceNow on the New York in this one, Orlando or Paris release. 5 or 6 releases back there. And they still think let's upgrade or not. Because they're so much complex in their nature. It is not that much easy for them to be upgrade themselves. So tough to be answered, but again, it depends from customer to customer, demand to demand as well. Okay. Chaliye, any other last question? Good. Let me stop the recording and take a quick attendance now.